Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel as we continue talking about 1980s horror films and the year 1981. And today we're taking a little bit more of a comedic approach to our movie as we talk about Full Moon High. This one stars Adam Arkin, Alan Arkin as well. We also have Ed McMahon, and we have Roz Kelly. Roz Kelly, of course, we just talked about previously with New Year's Evil. And this film I was able to find on Prime Video, and I'm happy that I had a chance to finally watch it. I've heard about this film for years, never watched it, and it wasn't bad. It was enjoyable for what it was. I don't think it was laugh out loud like I was hoping it was going to be. I was really looking for something like in the vein of like an Airplane, something like around that time frame. But yeah, this one it was enjoyable, just not laugh out loud like I was really hoping it was going to be. Now there were some funny moments in the film. Mostly for me, guys, Ed McMahon. Ed McMahon playing Tony's father, playing Adam Arkin's father, was great. I really thought he was funny with some of his things that he was saying. He plays like an undercover agent, Ed McMahon does, and he takes Tony, who's like the star football player for Full Moon High, with him to Romania as like an undercover mission. And of course, would you know, Tony gets bit by a werewolf. He comes back, and of course, he turns into a werewolf once he gets home. And the film, it takes an interesting approach because it starts off in one decade and then moves like 20 years ahead. Roz Kelly plays his girlfriend, Jane, I believe her name is, in the film, and she's like all over Tony the entire time, like when they're in school. But Tony, knowing that he's has become a werewolf now, he takes off. He just leaves town, kind of like abandons the football team, runs away, and 20 years pass. He comes back. He finally decides, you know what, it's time to come home. And of course, some things have changed. The high school is not in very good shape. The way that he left it was in a lot better shape than what it is when he comes back. And he kind of figures, let me get back into school. I'm still young because he's not aging now because he's a werewolf. Maybe I can, be the star football player that I should have been, and I can get score that big touchdown in the game for the team if I enroll myself back in high school. And that's kind of like the premise for the film. He's winds up pretending to be the son of his own son, basically, because he's trying to be like Tony Jr. So, like I said, it does have some funny moments, but it wasn't hitting on all cylinders like I really thought it was going to. The werewolf makeup isn't bad. It's like almost, if I could sum this film up, because you got to understand, American Werewolf in London came out in 1981 as well. It's like a mix and a mashup of that one with kind of like the outsider going to a foreigner going to another country, with him going to Romania, and it's like that, but also throw in Teen Wolf. That's kind of like the best way that I can go and and describe this film, and like trying to throw in spoof comedy like a Naked Gun or something like that. Just not as effective as any of those movies. That's kind of like the way all three of those movies thrown together gives you this film, but not as effective, but still enjoyable. And I think it's something that people could check out and maybe find something about. There are some you know, notable actors and actresses in this film. The ending definitely it's interesting. I will say that without spoiling things. What can a werewolf find love, guys? What happens if he does find love? You know, um, will he be able to have children? Those are all the questions that good old Tony Adam Arkin wants to. He poses all these questions to himself as he's trying to discover. What can I do? I can't die. I can't age. Can I have kids? Am I going to find somebody who's going to want to have? Are my children going to turn into like werewolves, like little puppies or whatever? It's all weird questions that he poses to himself throughout the duration of this film. But again, and he doesn't really, and he's not, it's a comedy in the way he's not out, murdering people. He's just, they call him the nipper. He's out there, he's biting people. Like, there's one scene, like when he first starts turning into a werewolf, and he's out there biting girls on the behind, on their butts. And you see, like, these guys putting bandages on the girls' butts and everything, because he's just nipping at these people. He's not killing them. So, in that sense, again, it's some enjoyable things. There's another scene that involves Tony that's kind of funny. It's almost like a parody of Psycho, with the Janet Leigh shower scene, kind of like a little bit play on that. But overall, everybody does a decent job with this film. I just don't think it's not gonna, it's not gonna be like reinvent the werewolf film for you, even though it's from 1981. It's not gonna, it's definitely not as good as Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox is a classic, absolute classic. But this one, it's original in some of the things that it does and some of the approaches that it does take. Like I said, the makeup is not bad on the werewolf itself. It's not American Werewolf in London. That is for sure as far as makeup goes. But it's not too bad. It's not too bad for what it's trying to do. It's like a lower budget version of Teen Wolf in that sense. So yeah, guys, Full Moon High. Finally had a chance to watch it. Not a bad film. Would I watch it again? I might watch it again. I think it could be a film that I think it could be a film that could grow as time goes if you watch enough times. I think it could absolutely be one of those films. I don't think it's ever going to be top tier, but I think it's a film that can definitely get a little bit better every single time that you watch it. So, guys, like, subscribe, and comment if you get the chance, and I'll catch you in another episode. Take care. Bye.